Okay, so the question they're asking us, if given the choice between buying something that's a material possession or
Right.
traveling, how do we prioritize
You're
that?
right. It's like, why do we choose to invest rather in like travel
Experiences.
experiences,
Mhm.
right?
Over owning.
Yeah,
Mm.
over buying things for, the house
Mhm.
or just whatever.
Mhm. What are your thoughts on that?
So for me, as my personality and like, like my experiences in life, I value quality time. Again, coming back to the love languages, I value quality time, and travel is quality time for me because it's always, pretty much always together. Yes, we definitely take solo trips, but yeah, even with the solo trip, it's still quality time with myself. And for me, that's an absolute priority over anything materialistic, like any kind of gifts or any other possessions. And I feel like at the end of my life, I'm not going to be able to take those possessions with me, but I will feel richer, and like my life will be more enriched with experiences, right? And like I will be better shaped through those experiences as a person than with possessions. And I also feel like it's just a natural curiosity about the world. There's just so many interesting, intricate aspects about the world and cultures and cuisine and people and histories and architecture, like you name it, anything, right? And so I don't know, I feel like I will always stay in that child phase of being a sponge that it just wants to absorb everything.
Then I'm going to go back to your initial response, which is spot on. It's not an either or for me. If the question is, how do I prioritize material possessions over travel experiences, you'll see that we absolutely account for both simultaneously.
It's true.
Yeah, there isn't
A compromise.
there's no compromise in the way that we approach. We tend to start with what do we need to have versus what do we want to have. And sometimes that need to have in material possessions is a replacement of something that's broken. We absolutely say, okay, do we need to buy this thing because we had it, it worked, and it no longer works? Do we need to buy this thing because it makes our lives easier?
Yeah, especially easier, more efficient, time efficiency.
Or do we need to have this thing because the lack of this thing, there's no joy, or we don't have joy around it.
Yeah.
And I feel like travel, not only traveling to a destination, but traveling with family and stuff like that helps facilitate.
Yeah, even like as an example, for instance, or even for this summer, but last year we were planning this summer's trip, and because we now have a daughter, like we were thinking about different modes of travel, right? And we love train travel, and we were looking at Orient Express and a few other like luxury brands in Europe, for instance. But those trips are just not really designed for small kids. And she was a year and 4 months, so that's just, still pretty small. So we opted out for another elevated experience with the Disney Cruise Line. That had a nursery, right? And like had a lot of things that were planned into the schedule and geared towards kids. So it was a fantastic experience. It was an amazing 2-week transatlantic trip that we took from Miami to Barcelona. And again, we didn't really compromise, just because of our current family situation, we were still able to have an amazing travel experience.
Yeah. To me, the answer is we do both. We've